Hello and yellow, and welcome back to Friend-Powered Friday Nights. I am Lynx Griffin. Guess what? It's a new year, it's a new Friday, it's a new Friend-Powered Friday Nights, and we're going to be starting off with Soul of Sovereignty. Prelude, I guess is not the full thing, this is just the prelude. Whew, I've been seeing this stuff mentioned around a bit, so I wanted to give Soul of Sovereignty a try. Wow. I will also be drinking my coffee drink. Hello, thank you guys for coming. Hello. Okay, before we start off, so, to my understanding, this, ads. Alright, we'll wait till the ads are done, and then when the ads are done, I will give a little lowdown from what I understand of this game, even though this is not technically a game, this seems to be more of a visual novel that is a linear read. But I'll wait for the ads to be done. In the meanwhile, y'all can get settled in for this new experience, which I'm very intrigued about. Whew. Yeah, as soon as ads are done, let me know. Alright, here we go. Now the ads are done. A little bit of a lowdown for this. This is Soul of Sovereignty Prelude. I guess it's not the full thing. Which is a visual novel by DG, one of the artists, the concept artists for Deltarune, which is why I've seen it floating around. Hello. This seems to be a very linear situation. I don't think there will be that much gameplay. It'll be a lot of reading. Also, this seems like it is intended for adults. That's what it said on the thing. Basically, I think there might be stuff to do with, maybe nudity, sexuality, so be on the lookout for that. Yes, I posted the doodles. Yes. And also, yes, there'll be more doodles on Sunday, because there'll be another art stream on Sunday. Also, obviously there's music. There's a bit of Toby tunes. There's some Toby tunes. Because Toby did some music for this, because, works on the game. Did I hear what I heard? I don't know. What did you hear? We haven't started yet. But yeah, that's my rundown from what I understand. We'll find out what's involved with this, because I have been curious about it for a while. Yeah, I'm hoping there's not any actual nudity. I mean, again, this is not like... These are drawings. So hopefully this is not an issue that, Twitch is gonna do with that. Yeah, I don't know the details of that either. I'm assuming that this is fine to stream. Should we check preferences? Do I need to check preferences? Or we're good? I don't know. I'll admit this is the first time I've done with anything like that, so I'm not all that sure what's involved. Like they didn't give me a detailed list of warnings or anything like that on the page. Like there wasn't something like, with Slay the Princess where it's like, okay, there's going to be, showcases of like, suicide or whatever, or same with Omori. They just said this game is intended for adults. Okay, I don't think that's going to be the first shot. I'm pretty sure it's just we're going to start out probably with exposition. Okay, depictions of nudity and violence alongside sexual themes. Okay, so there might be nudity. Oh, welcome to Friend-Powered Friday Nights. Give this a shot. Okay, there might be depictions of nudity. I don't know if that's going to be like full frontal or just, implied. Let's find out. Okay, Chapter 1 beginning, Chapter 1 after demo, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Well, let's start from beginning, I guess. Maybe, it could be an Austin Power situation. Oh, we have an autosave thing. Okay. I am excited for the art. I really do like Gigi's art. Especially the color. I love the color for this kind of stuff. Bill Cipher. No, thank you. Thought I told you to run, kiddo. Who's this? ... I'll do my best to give voices, but I'm not much of a voice actor. What does it look like I'm doing? Getting caught? But hey, I get it. You've got a heart. That's what landed you in this mess, right? I'm sorry, kid. Really, I am. Wish there was more I could do for you, but both of us are out of options. So where are you gonna go? Where you said, somewhere I can dream. or I can be as selfish as I want to be. Only question is what to do when no place like that exists. But I'll figure something out. Yeah, so we'll see how my acting chops do. I might not be much of a voice actor. Maybe this will be a chance for me to practice. I noticed the records you swiped from my office. You're not really going after it, are you? Yeah, the game handles it. Well, not all RPGs are voiced these days either. Thanks for the lead, old man. Maybe I'll see you in the next world. Wherever that might be. I think it'd be fun to make a visual novel. Yeah, I could ham it. Selfish virtue. Uh-oh, is this a Randian kind of thing going on? I hope not. I love glowing light on snow, though. It's here just for the art. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. As we check this out. The Lamplight, Heart of Tarn. I keep wanting to press Z, and that's not working. The first inn to become famous after the treasure hunting boom took off. A few decades ago, on a day like this, it would have been swarming with people. Orange and white, you win me over, true. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. I super appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you subscribing. I'm so excited about that. I'm excited for more stuff to do this year. Tonight, there's only one customer. Twitch wants you to share it. Loic, the customer. Who is Loic? In a manner of speaking, anyway. I arrived a few months ago. See, it's hard for me to do voices. I'm not sure who's speaking. I arrived a few months ago needing a place to stay while I continued my search in the area. Alma's pride wouldn't let her take money from an old friend, but I eventually convinced her to accept my services instead. Since then, I've been helping her look after the guests here. Guess share this. Ooh, watch streak. Nice. Ooh, thank you for watching all those streams. Collecting the points so you can get a drawing. What this does, it just lets you share stuff. Guess the village is sick and elderly given shelter from the unkind weather, not customers. Most were once treasure hunters themselves, but the age for that ended too soon before they'd found anything to build a life on. No gold rush. Tonight's dinner would be considered charitably as soup, or realistically as onion water. Ooh. Most of our guests chose the latter. Though I normally tried to encourage them to keep up healthy appetites, I couldn't blame them for the nearly full dishes I gathered this time. Onion water. Ooh. Alma's a terrific cook, really, but I doubt she sees much point in trying these days. I can't blame her either. French cuisine, no! That's like the opposite. Would Susie like onion water? Probably. Not as much as like apple water, though. It's soup. Usually you put soup in the bread. The dining room is deserted, tabletops lined with dust, rugs trampled thin. I know, Chris is going to try onion shampoo next. Ugh. The television is purely decorative now. Oh, they have TV, okay. With no signal to pick up since Tarn was cut off years ago. About the only glimmer of the past comes from the crackling fireplace, where explorers would once have crowded together, sharing stories. That's our next thing. We have to draw Chris with onion shampoo. Television? I'm not sure on the vibe. Like, I first thought this was like fantasy, but I'm like, okay, we have some modern technology. I need to see who this is so I know how to have the voice of Alma. Gonna come down or what? Ah, so old lady. Alma, the owner of the Lamplight. She leans against the bar, smoking a cigarette. Loic. Okay. Oh, he's got nice hair. Oh, I love the brushwork on it. Okay, I'll have to figure out voices for them. Oh, I didn't see you. You were seeing something, what? And don't say how badly you want me to clean this place up. That was hair. No. No, but you really ought to consider selling the TV at least. It may be old, but it'll still work in the mosaic. Got to use hair gel. Pah, is that all? I know you, Alma. It just caught my eye. Yeah, I'm trying this heavy cigarette voice. I join her at the bar and set down the tray. Something hangs heavy in the air as we look over the empty room together. Instead, I decide to turn my gaze outside. Okay, it seems like Loic is the one speaking. He knows Conan O'Brien's hairstylist. The largest windows face away from the mosaic, out toward the promise of the new world, quote-unquote. I've grown used to the view now, the towering shadows of mountains, empty homes scattered in the snow. Only tonight... Conan's voice? I don't watch Conan, so I don't know that voice. I don't remember. I don't watch late night TV. I don't watch any TV. Someone's coming. By the time I make it to the door, the visitor has collapsed in a heap at the threshold. In the year 2000. Joel from MST. I mean, I'm kind of doing a Joel. It's kind of like a soft voice. It feels like, kind of a soft, slightly, British lint. Oh no, give me a hand, would you? Yeah. There's a lady. Oh my goodness, a lady. Nah, not Crow. Her breathing and pulse seem normal. She does look awfully pale, but I think she'll be alright. It's a blonde. Mike put British. Pallid woman. There we are. How are you feeling? Welcome, dear. Almost old customer service voice. It's been a while since I've heard that. Will you be needing a room, or maybe you're just here to dine with us tonight? Room? Then I've made it. This is the lamplight. The one and only, serving the spirit of discovery since... Oh, thank goodness. I need your help. Great, another charity case. Don't be heartless, Alma. A decent meal is the very least we can offer. Yeah. As Alma trudges to the kitchen, I take a seat across from the stranger. Nice lady. Red versus blue. You should know, there's an emphasis on that decent. I wouldn't set my expectations too high if I were you. Oh, I'd be happy with anything. You're too kind. But we haven't even gotten to your problem. You said you need help. The woman breathes a long, thin sigh. There's somewhere I need to get to. Hey, I know that. I'm using that story beat. I heard there was a gathering place for treasure hunters, so I hoped one of them could escort me. But where are you headed? Do you know of a ruin near here called the Hollow Temple? I know, with a pompadour like that, we can accomplish anything. Forget it. Alma emerges from the kitchen with a lukewarm cup of soup in her hand. She hands it off to the woman. Or is it onion water again? Waste of a trip, honey. It's a short walk, sure, but the woods are infested. If you're not going to pay for a room, at least spare me from having to report your body to the shield. Shield? Alma? What? Better to be honest. I have to go. I saw it in a dream. The god of that temple visited me and said that if I prayed at the altar, I'd be cured. Uh-oh, somebody's sick. I've suffered from this illness all my life, and now I've finally been shown a cure. I saw it in a dream. Definitely real. I have to go. And here I thought you came for treatment from the good doctor. Pallid woman. Well, suit yourself. You're a doctor? That's her idea of a joke. You'd be generous to call me a caretaker. I'm not sure how my humble remedies could do for this illness of yours, but I'm more than willing to try. The woman softly shakes her head. I've seen 1,000,000 doctors, and not one of them could help me. I know it must sound like nonsense, but that temple is my only hope. Feels very, I don't know, there's a vibe from her I'm getting. I see. Out of curiosity, have you ever heard how the so-called Hollow Temple got its name? No? There's nothing in it. well, that would do it. USA healthcare can make it difficult. Oh, for years, people were convinced there had to be some secret hidden beneath the surface. But as it turns out, it's just an empty building. I'm sorry to say this, but without the promise of treasure, you'd have a hard time convincing any treasure hunters to make the trip, if you could find any here. That's where the Hollow Knight is, in the Hollow Temple. Yeah, the art's gorgeous. I love this lineless style. I'm not surprised this is a concept artist for Deltarune. Totally works. A magic empty building. Then this is it for me. Hold on. I was going to say I'd be happy to go with you. Tintin vibes. Hello. Thank you for coming. Oh yeah, the kind of dot eyes. That's kind of more of a Tintin style. It's okay. We haven't gotten that. We haven't gotten that far in. We've had this woman introduced to this very empty inn. You, I know, you were hoping for someone a bit more suited to the rigors of the road, let's say. The truth is, I've been meaning to visit that temple myself. Sooner or later, I'll be going either way, and I do intend to get there in one piece for what it's worth. Maybe Tintin will show up. Really? At the very least, we don't have anything to lose by going together. Safety in numbers and all. He's got the hair. Pallid woman. Listen, why don't you give it some thought? I'll be able... Wait! I'll go! That was fast. Are you sure? You're the first stranger who's offered to help me. If this is my only chance of making it to the temple, I have to take it. Let's not be strangers, then. Loic. Yzma. Thank you, Loic. Tonight's clear skies are a rarity. Given the urgency of Yzma's plight, I'm not surprised that she wants to go right away. Besides, it's a short enough trip that we should be back before the next snowfall rolls in. Again, I don't watch late night TV. I don't know Conan O'Brien. I don't know any of these guys. Alma. And now you're off to the cold for this random girl. Why am I not surprised? She needs help, Alma. I'd like to think you'd do the same. Please, some of us know how to look out for ourselves first. You should try it sometime. Thanks for the concern. See you in the morning, all right? Oh, I'm sure. I mean, like, long-term late-night guy, I'm sure there's funny stuff. Sipping on cigarettes. I don't... How do you sip on a cigarette? It's like sucking in the air. Cast profiles have been added. In the beginning, the builder looked to the horizon and foresaw the death of the world. To preserve life, he raised a great tower, a new home for all of humanity, the Mosaic. From the farthest reaches, he gathered every soul together into one most peaceful nation, a perfect refuge from the storm. So I think that was a different writer, different person. Pretty sure Conan O'Brien is not a Simpsons writer. 2020s for you. Ooh. I say, we got to go in the shelter when there's a large flood happening. Ages on, when all had stilled, the people of the Mosaic opened their gates to see what remained, and found a ruined land owned by no one. Thus did they set forth to pick clean the bones of the world they forgot. He did work on The Simpsons? What did he do? I mean, Simpsons has like 50 seasons. Probably happened at some point. I remember hearing so many stories about the world outside the Mosaic. So is the little shack they're in, is that inside or outside the Mosaic? Maybe he was a recurring VA. I could see that. Yzma the Blessed. So, not cursed, blessed. An endless expanse where the spirit of discovery soared on the wind, inviting the bold. Seasons 3 to 5, early seasons, wow. Not surprising a cameo in Futurama. Walking through this ghost town, I can't imagine it. When the first treasure hunters found this place, it was already in ruins. They built it up into a new town, only for it to shrivel into nothing again. All that wasted effort. Okay, so a calamity covered the world and everybody was gathered into one place. And then when the calamity passed, they went back out to explore it, and there was just like abandoned towns. What was the calamity? Every little gust of wind sets the windows clattering in these ramshackle houses. A calamity Ganon happened. Gosh darn. Good thing he didn't touch all the buildings. But beyond all this, out in the mountains, I can almost hear the faint voice of my own personal spirit of discovery. Yzma. I hope this doesn't sound rude, but I wonder how that cloak will hold up against the cold. Could be for global warming, yeah. He's allergic to buildings. Oh, the temple's a straight shot from here, but we are going to have to walk it. Will you be all right? Yes. You say that, but you're suffering enough from your illness. Please don't push yourself. Really, I'm fine. Eating something gave me the strength I needed, I think. It was the onion water. It cured me. If you insist, but now that I'm thinking about it... He removes one of the flowers pinned to the clasp of on his collar. Aw. This is at the front of the thing. No curse, no prophecy. Yeah, some fantasies must do that, I'm sure. This is a Palicia. In the language of flowers, it means fire. Because it's orange. That's funny. Is it? I just thought flower language was, I don't know, unrequited love, things like that. Most people know it that way. In this region, long ago, these flowers were common travelers' charms meant to ease the cold. Just an old superstition, but it can't hurt. Here. And do you normally give these out? Haha, one way or another. Flowers are my business. I guess you could say some habits from the shop are hard to shake even on the road. I could have her be Minnie Mouse. I feel like I don't know much about either of these characters so far, so I'm just kind of winging it. Oh, speaking of Final Fantasy X, I was just watching Andrew Bluet's video on Final Fantasy X. I was really excited about that. It was really good. I recommend Andrew Bluet's channel for Final Fantasy retrospectives, and he's on 10 now. So, you're a florist. A superstitious one, it turns out. I hope I haven't put you off. Not at all. It's a kind thought. Thank you. Even if the spirit of discovery is dead, the kindness of strangers apparently lives on. When our fingers brush, I feel warmth. Not just a faint touch, but a steady embrace that spreads comfortably over my skin. Let's be off. Ready? Oh, right. She has a nice flower. Dot, dot, dot. Look at the florist. For all my fussing over Ismay, I barely dressed for the cold myself. This snow is too thick for the middle of spring. It burns because it's fire. Then again, any ideas about right or wrong with regard to the weather seem arbitrary. I love this art. Is this? I'm kind of wondering if this is done traditionally. I mean, probably not because it's faster to do stuff digitally. But these are some really nice brushes. These kind of like chicken-looking brushes. I want them. In my months at the lamplight, I've come to appreciate the cold. A sudden chill against my face feels refreshing when I know it wasn't decided by committee. I mean, it's probably easy to replicate. Just need the right brushes for it. This is probably done in a art program of some kind. At such times, I think there are still treasures to be found outside the mosaic. Do those have a meaning too? My gaze follows Ismay's to a patch of weeds poking through the frost. Dandelion, sure. Mundanity. No, not if you're playing Kingdom Hearts. That's a joke, right? Do you think so? If every flower has a meaning, some of them are bound to be less exciting than others. I suppose. We brace ourselves against the sudden wind. It's a good thing we said... Excuse me. I'm going to start coughing like Ismay. It's a good thing we set out tonight. This time tomorrow I expect we'll have another blizzard on us. Thank you again, Loic. I didn't think you'd be willing to go so soon. I didn't think it could wait. Maybe not for me, but why are you planning to visit the temple? I'm curious considering it's hollow and all. Oh, did I not say? I'm going for the same reason as you. To be cured, but you seem perfectly healthy. An apple a day. But that's not quite what I mean. I'm not interested in investigating the temple itself so much as the local flora. I don't suppose you've heard of the glass bell. I thought his voice was fine after Kingdom Hearts 1, but it did sound best in Kingdom Hearts 1 before he hit puberty, but, that can't be helped. I think he enjoyed doing the voice in either way. I'm sorry, I haven't. Perfectly understandable. The glass bell is a very peculiar flower, one said to be potent enough to cure any malady. That's too good to be true. Maybe. It's never been seen, only told of in old writings. If it does exist, it could grow anywhere, and so I search everywhere. And who is it for? Not as pleasant. Let's not talk about that. In fact, enough about me. Tell me about yourself, Ismay. Huh? There isn't much to tell. I'm not very special. Yeah, that part is where when like it's modern day Haley Joel Osment, but he's voicing like a younger Sora, and it's like, oh, that doesn't quite line up. He needs to be older. Flower's doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Yeah, I agree. It is a little weird when we're talking like younger Sora. Come now, not many can say they've been called upon by a god. It's not something to brag about, especially at home. Not in his vision. Ha. No, I guess not. You're religious, then? More my family. What is their religion for this world? When she turns towards the ever-present pillar on the horizon, I can only imagine the expression that darkens her face. She'd have red cheeks. When my family learns I came this far, all on the word of a pagan god, I'll probably be disowned. But alive and well, we can always pick up the pieces from there, can't we? That's true. He's made the runaway. So, things change as we progress. Alive and well, the words ring in my ears. To be honest, the cold didn't bother me at all, just like Elsa. It never does. Now, though, I have real warmth to compare it to. Now, I have a way out, a path to alive and well. Ah, and there's our temple. Can you see it? But the bridge is out. Oh, don't worry about that. It's been out of commission for months. The reason I put this trip off for so long, in fact. Is it ever going to be fixed? At this point, I wouldn't count on it. Putting aside the lack of interest, Tarn just doesn't have the means anymore. Oh. But we can take a detour this way. You'll meet Kali. In hell! We go off the path into the thick of the woods. I try to focus on what waits at the end of this hike, but in spite of myself, I keep thinking of that word the innkeeper used to describe this place. Infested. It was Indiana Jones that destroyed the bridge. Gosh darn. They say that when the old world died and the builder created his paradise for mankind, he let in 2 of every animal in nature, just like Noah. The rest were left behind as the clouds rolled in. So it is a biblical-looking flood. I suppose that's not relevant. Did you hear that? Unfortunately. You said you had a plan for dealing with monsters, didn't you? Do we have monsters here? Did I? Her face like, did you? Did you? Hello? Didn't you? I remember saying that I meant to get to the temple in one piece, but a plan... ... I could certainly try to come up with something now if you'd like. Seems like that might be a good thing to do, yes! I gotta think on that. How fast can you run, do you think? She's like, probably not very. On account of being deathly ill and all. Oh, right. Forgive me, that was thoughtless. Outside the safety of the mosaic, deadly rain came pouring down from the skies. Cold water fell from the sky. Like it always does. It ate through stone and steel, washing entire cities and nations away. So yes, biblical flood. But the animals caught in the flood changed. They trembled and twisted and came apart, then came back together the wrong way. Uh-oh. And any creatures that didn't succumb were hunted by the ones that did. We got Cerberus wolves. Or something from Homestuck, I don't know. Shit! I wouldn't have wanted to cross paths with this thing when it was a normal wolf, let alone whatever the hell this tangle of limbs and mouths is. Uh-oh. Once I start running, I don't look back. The trees are dense enough to slow it down a bit. But I can't carry on like this uphill. Ismay! The voice comes from behind. When I look, he's stopped next to a fallen tree. Oh, this is Ismay speaking. Trying to shove it out of where it's lodged in the snow. Without a second thought, I double back. 1, 2... We strain against the trunk together. Wild, heaving breaths close in. Then the weight shifts. Did you do something? Not much of a plan, but whatever works. Thank goodness. You know, Isme, I was joking when I suggested we run, but I'm glad you took that as a challenge. I don't like thinking of myself as an old man yet, but I could barely keep up. You know, when push comes to shove. Back at the lamplight, you seem to be struggling just to get through your story. Alma's cooking must be better than I give her credit for if it energized you that much. Or maybe she's not being entirely truthful about being ill. You know, all those vegetables. They're full of protein. That helps you run, sure. In onion soup. All those vegetables. I feel like somebody might not be entirely truthful here. His gaze is warm but intense. I should have known he saw through my act, maybe right from the start. Maybe my coughing could have been more realistic. Whatever. But he offered to help me anyway, and judging from the look on his face, the offer's still open. Okay, she is lying. Fine, all right, I'm not sick. That was all bullshit. I had a feeling. I needed help getting to the temple and pity works. You were right, you know. I was hoping it would rope in more of a bodyguard. We haven't died yet, so I'd say you could have done worse. Now what is it you're after at the temple? The greatest power in the world. Oh, we're going full honk here. I'm sure you know what I mean. The sovereignty. The soul of sovereignty. I've heard stories. You know, no one would have taken me seriously if I had told them I was actually looking for it. And even if someone did, why would they help me find it? Convince me then, why should I? Look, you have that miracle flower you're after, right? I'm guessing there's someone you want to save no matter what. Well, I have that too. The sovereignty is my one hope of a world worth living in. And what makes you so certain it's in this place? There was a professor in the Mosaic who researched the legends. I read everything he wrote on the subject. There's no guarantee, but the temple was never totally ruled out as a lead. I want to see it for myself. And if you find nothing there, then what? Then I keep searching. Isn't that what you're doing? I have to explore every avenue. Maybe most treasure hunters have moved on, but I need this to be real. I'm sorry for lying to you, Loic, but I had to. ... Nope, more scaries. I think perhaps we've lingered too long. They howl, they scream. I don't stick around for another second. That fallen tree was a stroke of luck and it doesn't strike twice. Maybe there's some other way to slow them down. Just as I start looking around, my foot slips. I tumble into a patch of weeds before I even realize it. For a second I think I've been tackled, so I panic and scramble up against a nearby tree. But these creatures are more patient than that. It can't be every day they get to entertainment like us. They close in, savoring their win, and I clench my eyes shut. And for some reason, despite everything, only for a single instant, I feel calm. Oh. Big scaries. When I dare to look again, one of those things is too close. I see puffs of its breath as it leans in, sniffing at my face from every angle. Something about its attitude has changed. It's almost frustrated. Its eyes sear into mine for what feels like forever. Then it pulls away. One by one, the other beasts follow their leader back to the woods until the two of us are left alone. Are you all right? What the hell? I try to stand, but my useless ankle buckles under my weight. Shit! Easy, let me see. Worse than I thought. It might even be broken. I don't want to risk trying to put pressure on it again. So, what are the chances of you carrying me up the rest of the way? He smiles. Slim, let's try something else. And there's something in his hand, a little notebook bound with a string. He opens it, then flips through the pages, passing what looks like dozens of pressed flowers. The yellow rose means mending, in short. In the Mosaic, it's come to symbolize friendship, another case of the simplification that makes flower language easier to sell. He stops at a certain page and brushes his fingers against the dull, dry petals of a rose. I'm fond of that one, though. It's nice to think of a friendship as something that can be mended, no matter how severe the break. As he goes on, the flower seems to come alive beneath his hand. I blink hard. I've got to be imagining it. But there it is, full and vibrant as the second it was picked. He returns his attention to me, and I notice that strange calm again. The air turns soft and heavy, as if warmed by his voice. Take heart, not all things fall neatly into place, but this will. Magic mending flowers. It just happens. My ankle is broken, and then it isn't. I pull it closer to look. No wound, no bruise, nothing. He's got flower magic, and when I glance back at his notebook, the rose has completely withered away. I knew it. The flower you gave me when we left. That was magic, too. They all are, even those. He nods to the few dandelions poking through the frost, their petals scattered on the snow. Mundanity. But this is the sort of thing that kept me busy in Tarn for the few months I've been there. I'm not a healer exactly, but I can manage enough to make myself useful. I've dealt with my fair share of difficulty in the mosaic, so I try not to be too forthcoming with the details. You said you came from a religious family, so I'm sure you understand. That's one way of putting it. Well, consider this a show of good faith. You've been kind enough to share your secret with me, after all. How does it work? Oh, no, that conversation would take all night. Ask me back at the lamplight, and I'll tell you all about it. Sure, that'll be nice. For now, he helps me up to my feet, and I take a moment to shake the snow from my cloak. Shall we? The flower glossary has been added, so I guess we can look up what different flowers do. Almighty God of language, lend us your eyes, and we will see the truth. Lend us your hands, and we will guard life. Lend us your tongue, and we will speak power. God of language. Loic the witness. We keep getting different roles assigned to the characters. The temple is quiet and barren. I kind of wonder, can I click on this? No, I don't think I can. In other words, more or less what I expected. A step into the door sends a chill through me all the same. More than anything, though. I can't see shit! One moment, I have just the thing. Another flower? No, let me. I brought a flashlight. That'll work a little better. Oh, wonderful. That's much more convenient than burning another flower. Hollow temple. Not completely empty. Who is this? I guess the god of this place? Why the uncertainty? Don't you recognize them from your dream? Yeah. The people of Oxend were monotheists originally. Over time, various aspects of their god came to be worshipped as separate entities. This is Tanim, the aspect of truth. Traditionally, you're supposed to confess any act of dishonesty before their image. Oh, sorry for pretending to be sick. But I already came clean about that, so I should be all squared away, right? I don't see why not. Really, it's more an encouragement to make amends with the people we've wronged. Let's have a look around. So what was this temple built for? Any ideas? Hard to say. The entrance is the only part that feels anything like a place of worship. When explorers found it, there were traps around every corner. It took years for the path to be opened even this far. You know a lot. Everyone needs a hobby, though I doubt I'm telling you anything you haven't read. I only cared about whether the sovereignty could be here. Didn't get too into the details. No, but this place was the talk of the tower for years. All the ancient discovery reports on TV. But maybe those were before your time. Maybe. I had TV then. You haven't missed much then. At the end of all that fuss, they didn't find anything. You could say it put a damper on the whole treasure hunting craze. What, everyone gave up because one ruin turned out to be empty? There was a bit more to it than that, but essentially, yes. But I've done enough to lower your expectations, haven't I? Why don't we see for ourselves what they found? Central chamber is pure darkness, almost as though we've stepped into a void At least until Ismay's flashlight reveals the walls. Plain stone on every side, except for this cool brushwork. You know, I actually have my own theory about this place. Do tell. I think it's fake. This room most of all. What we're seeing doesn't exist. It's like a shared hallucination. That's certainly an interesting theory. But you can feel it, can't you? Something's off. My footsteps slow. You think it's some sort of an illusion, then? Not quite. Illusions are new magic. The kind of trick any kid in the mosaic can do. This is something else, something older. Like the magic you've been nice enough to demonstrate for me. ... You seem stumped. Well, let me tell you something else. I didn't put on the sick girl act for whatever random treasure hunter happened to feel sorry for me. Music sounds a little tense. I came here for you. Uh-oh. What a great picture. What a great scary picture. Ooh. I love the lighting. The lighting is what sells this. Ooh. Her voice slowly circles me in the darkness. You had a bit of a reputation back home, didn't you? The Messenger, a normal little flower shop where people in the know could buy magic. I had my doubts, but you did away with those real quick. Couldn't resist showing off to a cute, helpless girl, I guess. And where did you hear all of this about me? I bring my hand to my chest, feeling for a familiar flower pinned there, touching upon a memory. Let's just say I had a reliable source. But I'm sick of talking, aren't you? Why don't we get down to business? I think that'll be a bit hard under these conditions, Ismay. Let's have some light. That's a bit of a creepy smile. And there she is, her features shadowed by a velvety hood, a new cloak woven from nothing in the blink of an eye, still fresh and crackling with the energy of creation. This is artisanry, so-called new magic, but certainly no child's trick. See? The light I've summoned falls strangely on the floor, piercing more than the shadows. Your magic is the key. Even a little spark shows this place for what it really is. You can get me in. But you already knew that, right? After all, you've been here before. I watch my reflection fading in and out of the impossibly rippling stone. Ooh, stone ripple, that's cool. When I agreed to be your escort, it was in the hope of convincing you that there was nothing here. But I've badly underestimated you, Ismay. I see that now. So let me tell you the truth. This place fills me with dread. You're right. I've stood here once before, many years ago. I felt the same then. I strongly believe that whatever sleeps here should never be woken, whether it's the sovereignty or anything worse. And now that I've done as I promised you, I think I should be on my way. I'm not eager to delve any further into the secrets of the past. Oh, that's fine. I'm not telling you to be eager. I'm telling you... Uh-oh. To do it. To do what? Where did she get a gun? Also, interesting makeup there. We've taken a turn. Now let's stay calm. Magic and gun. Oh no! You came back. Things took a wild turn. Very gestury. A shot rings out, searing my arm. I stumble to the floor. Did you not hear me? I said I'm sick of talking. I don't have all night. Well, stop! Please, I'll do as you say. That's more like it. But let me ask one thing first. Why not? Go ahead. Who's the person you're hoping to save by doing all of this? Certainly new age fantasy where the witch pulls the blick, yeah. Save? Oh my god, you actually believed that stupid shit! Listen, you want to know who all this is for. Me. But you're free to keep thinking of the sovereignty as my dead white flower if that makes you feel better. We've taken a turn. I see. Well, Thank you for your honesty. Flower. The white dawn's eye, in simple terms, light. Coincidentally, the first flower I read for the man who brought me to this place. I was a boy. We'll find out. We gotta read on. We'll see if it's explained. I was a boy, lured by stories of illuminating the past, recovering the lost knowledge of the old world. I lent my power to his cause. Then I saw what he was truly after, and I turned my back on him. At least he allowed me that. With some effort, I withdraw my notebook and let it fall open into my lap. If the sovereignty exists here, then it has eluded treasure hunters in the backyard of the mosaic for half a century. Yet only a surface reading of light was enough to shake its final line of defense. Why? A particular page stops me. The sight calls a hazy memory of Tannim to my mind. Not the statue at the entrance, but a smaller image displayed in a relative's home once upon a time. I remember the brilliant sunrose that was always placed in a dish of water before the god, to be ritually invoked as soon as it began to wilt. In flower language, the sunrose falls towards the esoteric end of the scale, its meaning significant only to the followers of a dead faith. It seems to say, only for our people, only for our children. Not for me, I think. You look like you have an idea. Certainly not for this woman, but I feel a deadly brush against the back of my neck as she urges me on. Share with the class. Pleasing my ancestors is beyond me at this point. Still, a useless apology flits through my mind before I turn it toward the task at hand. At a simple acknowledgement, the sunrose opens to me, and I read. Where you walk, sight of Fayam, let truth not hide. Ooh. Bit by bit, the enchantment begins to unravel, the room as we see it melting away. A rush of cold is the first sensation to tear through the veil, fresh flecks of snow on our faces, clouds of warmth from our lips, then the sound of trickling water. We stand in a courtyard. A fountain blanketed with lilies in vivid shades of pink and blue, ornate pillars on all sides inscribed with the words of the poet. Again, beautiful art. This hollow temple is the most complete remnant of accent to survive into the modern world. But that isn't what I've been brought here for, is it? At the center of the pool stands a peculiar door. Otherworldly light issues forth as a deep, resonant voice envelops us. Sonar's call. Children of the Creator, come! Without hesitation, Yzma drops her weapon to the floor and throws herself into the light. But what compels me to approach? I place my hand through the door, and a palpable shift in atmosphere sends me reeling as if from a burn. Somehow I can feel the massive distance that lies between this side and the other. How many adventurers' hands fell short in the years before this moment? And if what lies beyond really is the power to remake the world, then what have I done? This time, I can't look away. I must steel myself and walk through, so he has been here before, to a place built not by humans, not even by artisanry, a hall so pristine that every step feels almost improper. A realm divine. The sovereign hall, something made by the gods, perhaps. Honorable children of the Creator, you are welcome. At the end of the hall stands an altar guarded by a living statue. Its voice and manner are empty, and patches of feathers cover its body like ivy on a decaying building. Ooh, cool, like a sphinx looking. From behind a winding scroll, the guardian's eyes seem to stare at nothing. You have come to the resting place of the sovereignty. I am its voice. The gun is a bigger shock than the god. The ruling sovereign has failed, and his world decays beyond salvation. But within you, I sense the approach of a stronger vision. It could be the nudity. That's not much in the way of nudity. That's just like a nude statue. That ain't nothing. In reaching this place, you have proved your faith. Will you save this world? Isme! The sight of the voice so arrested me that I nearly forgot to call out to her, but she flashes only a quick grin at me before turning back toward the altar. Just tell he's packing. Martha was a she. I'm just giving it a deep voice. I will. Then you must be tested. Didn't you just say I proved myself? In reaching this place, you have proved your faith. You must next prove the faith of your witness. For a reason I cannot comprehend, terror clutches my chest. Wait! With a swift motion, the winding scroll becomes rigid sharp. Yeah, I don't think any pronouns were applied. I mean, it's a god. It probably has no real gender. The voice's hands find Isme's back to steady her, and the newly formed blade finds her heart. Oh, it just killed her. What? Oh. Her face remains contorted in shock as she slumps to the floor, clearly dead even before I rush thoughtlessly to her side. Isme, oh God! But the voice watches me with unfeeling eyes. Got Indiana Jones. Why do you grieve? What? Do you not come as her witness? Say the prayer and she will be reborn. I don't understand. What prayer? A binding of souls, a pledge to usher her into the seat of sovereignty at the cost of your freedom, at the risk of your life. Will you do this? As if it's the simplest question. And she'll die otherwise? She has died. Already her soul slips away, drawn to rest, but say the prayer, and she will be reborn. Man, this is a thrust onto poor Loic here. No time to think about that. Yeah, the simple answer would be no. Like, she threatened him first. He barely knows her, but, oh no, is he going to be heroic when actually he should not be heroic in this sense? After all she pulled on him, don't be the bigger person in this case. Like, we don't know what she's going to do with this. But, say if that's the right thing to do. Oh dear. I'll do it. Don't do it! Don't do it! No! Being the bigger person is often ready to destroy you. It's not even an enemy. Just the wise thing to do would be like, no, don't do it. Oh, he's gonna do it. Of course, but of course. That is become sovereign or go home. Then speak the words. Restless soul, by sovereignty marked, to you I offer willing hands. Willing. To the voice's steady tone begins to falter. No. No more of this. Not again. Huh. Okay, what's going on with this? No more. The serenity of the hall is shattered as the voice lets out a terrible cry. I catch a glimpse of its eyes shining with rage and fear. Okay, this is not a god in a good position, actually. Something else is going on here. Begone! The spirit unfurls its wings, great banners of flame. I stagger back from the altar, my senses already muddled with the smell of smoke. I can't linger. And so I hurry away, down stairs that twist and buckle violently beneath my feet, through the gate trampling the carpet of water lilies, through the halls of the temple stumbling out into the cold. Suddenly there's a loud sound, a burst of flame at my back. Then nothing. Bro failed the test of faith! Oh no! But did they actually finish saying the words? How did this happen? 2 weeks later, what? What happened? What happened there? 2 weeks? Her curls glittered in the sunlight. She shook her head. Why 2 weeks? Maybe this is a flashback. 2 weeks is no time at all, sweetheart. Who knows? You might not even want to come back by the end of it. I'll be dead by the end of it. Now, none of that. Oh, what about Duval's? You love that place. The bakery's name clearly sparked her interest. I could almost see the reflection of that chocolate raspberry cake she so loved in her eyes. Then, stubbornly, she closed them. Well, they're opening one here, so that's not even exciting anymore. This seems like a flashback or move into another area of some sort. Leah, work with me here, please. Oh, is that a friend, a daughter, a niece? Oh, look at him. Oh, no. I cross him screw. I know you'd rather stay. If I had my way, you could. But this is the reality of it. There's nothing I can do. Nothing? Maybe one small thing. Aww. Does this mean skipping 2 weeks into the future? Yeah. Aww. Finally, a real smile. Matter yield to memory that true may dwell as one. Yeah, this is a post-apocalypse. It's not medieval. They do have TVs, stuff like that. There are a lot of fantasy vibes, but this does seem to take place in a future. The poet wrote that about the Cloud Sage. I thought you hated that stuff. I do, but that one's not so bad. Steadying my heart, I folded her hands lightly in mine and began to speak with purpose. No, it seems to be like just actual TV. Just like actual technology. Be present for a moment, Leah. Hear my voice. Feel your weight where you stand. Savor the scent of roses on the air. Even consider how much I'm boring you with all this. She was listening intently, but dignified me with another smile anyway. Know that memory ties you here. However far you wander, it will lead you back. Ye old Magic television. Yeah, this seems to be kind of a future apocalypse thing than a past fantasy thing, but it has kind of that fantasy vibe to it, just in the clothing and stuff like that. And with that, I've done the complicated part. All you'll need to do is remember. A skeptical look crossed her face. I could use this just to come home whenever? Only for a little while. Save it for when you really need it, okay? The wind howls. Now where are we? I think that was a flashback. I wake to my guest room. Somehow, I've made it back. As I slowly sit up, my eyes focusing, the events of the temple bubble to the surface of my memory. Okay, so this is after the temple. I was shot, wasn't I? But the tear in my sleeve has been mended. Patched with artisanry over my bandaged arm. The lingering pain is all that reminds me now. And there's that blizzard that was still on the horizon when we left. Would Ismay have been caught in it if... But no, she got stabbed. We might see more guns, yes. Maybe I could use a bit more rest. Still not quite clear what happened. Back to sleep so soon? Ah! Ooh! Ah! Oh! Ah! Oh! Ismay! What happened to you? What do you think? I fucking bit it! You saw what that thing did to me. Well, this is my first time speaking with a ghost. I might need a moment to get my bearings. It's got a Kara ghost. I know. Well, this is my first time being a ghost, and it fucking sucks. Nobody can see me except you, and believe me, I've tried everything. A binding of souls. I wonder, what the hell are you talking about? That guardian we saw, the voice. It told me to recite a prayer naming you my... Nicolas Cage with lipstick? Oh, that's a description. Oh. My God, effectively. The way I heard it, that would have resurrected you. What? Wait, what? Ismay, did you not anticipate any of this? Are you joking? I told you the whole reason I went out on a limb was my reliable source. Not so fucking reliable, it turns out. Yeah, she's the one that's swearing the most so far. Now that she's dead, she has more cause to swear. I was expecting this sovereignty to be hard to get. I didn't know this shit was part of the deal. Maybe it isn't. Something happened before I could finish that prayer. The voice went berserk all of a sudden. Then finish it now. How can I? I never heard the whole thing. Now that I think on it, the words I did manage at the altar have already faded like a dream from my memory. Before I can say this, footsteps approach. Oh, God, oh, good. You were out for a full day. I was starting to get worried. I, did what I could for your arm, but I'm no doctor. Should have just let you take care of it yourself. Not at all. Thank you, Alma. The shield brought you back. A patrol went out to the temple after she saw some kind of light there, and anyway, there's a cop waiting downstairs. I tried to get rid of him, but he's hell-bent on grilling you. Kept asking me about that girl you went with. She's not dead, is she? Hey, what happened out there, Loic? I thought the temple didn't have anything. Certainly not anything worth getting shot over. I'm not sure what happened, Alma. I'm sorry. Still out of it, huh? Well, I'm sorry to send him right up, but he'll get suspicious if I take too long. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. With a little nod, she reluctantly heads off. Langlius. Come again? The cop who's here looking for me. I saw him come in while you were out. A real VIP, I take it. God, no. He'd cream himself if he heard you say that. Helpful to know. What is he, then? Right now, a church lapdog. Not that he'll admit to being here on their business. I doubt he even cares. I'm beginning to think I may have underestimated your religious family. Oh, you have no idea. Just don't tell him what happened at the temple. I don't want him to have the satisfaction of knowing I'm dead, even temporarily. Footsteps heavier than Alma's make their way nearer. When the door opens next, a stifling presence fills the room. Uh-oh, it's cop time. Loic Ard. Oh, look at this. Look at the bush on the beard on this guy. Loic Ard, Commander Theodore Langless of the Inner Shield. It's a pleasure to. Let's skip the pleasantries. I've wasted enough time in this pit as it is. Last night you made contact with a woman calling herself Isme. Tell me everything you can about her. He's this is body care and grooming. They're cops, the joke. 19th century military man. I see that this is an urgent matter, sir. Man, those locks. Unfortunately, I don't have much information to provide. Isme came to the inn last night, seeking an escort to the temple. She claimed that her life... Yes, I heard all that from the innkeeper. What else did she say? Anything about who she was, where she came from? Nothing, actually. She was very quiet on our trip. After a few failed attempts at small talk, I decided to leave her be. And the temple, what happened there? I don't know. Just before we arrived, she pulled out a gun. I thought I heard her telling me to empty my pockets, but I was already frazzled from the journey. Without thinking, I ran. That was when she fired at me. I blacked out, and the next thing I knew, I was here. That's pretty good lie. I do my best not to acknowledge Isme's approving grin. When was the last time I had to lie so boldly? And to an officer, no less. She's like, yes, lie to the cops. Kick his ass. Back there. Oh, right. The search party found this at the scene. Look familiar? I know that smile. Yes, that's... Uh-oh. Why is everybody pointing guns at Loic? This poor guy just trying to do flower stuff like, guns in your face. Ha! Relax. Convincing enough to the untrained eye, I'll give her that, but it's flimsy work. Like all her constructs, I doubt it would have fired a second shot without falling apart. Basically, it's like that gun that killed Abe. Sir, why? Why are you like this? He pulls the trigger, and the gun shatters into light. What? Like so. Punch him! Only a joke, I know. But then what is this discomfort that falls upon me as she says it? She got a magic gun, like Linkara. It's an apparatus. One-use gun, disposable gun. That girl likes to call herself a master of illusion as if that means anything. Artisanry without substance, without discipline, the best that she can manage. My breathing grows deliberate. It's only when I become aware of my efforts to calm myself that I realize how tense I am. Certainly he's less than friendly. But was Langless's voice always so aggravating? No, my exhaustion is to blame. But another voice rings clear in my mind, the voice of my new sovereign. Go on, get him while his back's turned. Better yet, smash him with that chair. I am not myself. Though I desperately will it to remain at my side, my trembling hand reaches out. Beat the cop! Beat the cop! Please. I say it without thinking, a strained whisper. Oh? Oh, what is this? Fan and Kara. Except, yeah, we've already established from the get-go that she's not a very good person. Wait, you said something about naming me your god, and now you have to obey me. Is that it? Oh, this is great, actually. I just thought it was funny to imagine. Are you listening, Mr. Art? I didn't finish reading that. That is true. He is doing his job and actually investigating a crime. Although pointing a gun at him was, you didn't need to do that, sir. But pardon me. Yes, I'm listening. All at once, that oppressive feeling recedes. I still cling to the chair more to brace myself. Yeah, this is interesting. We're an hour in and just like, whoa, what is happening? And again, art just kicks ass. No, I can't throw away a perfectly good pawn now. You and I still need to make this official, don't we? All right, I think that's all we have to discuss, leaving only one last order of business. Which is? The details of our investigation are highly classified, Mr. Ard, but rest assured, I mean to smoke her out. Question? Don't care, out of my way! What? Commander! A young officer throws the door open, shoving his way past the temporary guard. What in the hell? Commander Langless, sir! Please, is it true? You're going to destroy it? We're done here. Sir, wait, you can't! We barely even wait! The officer follows Langlius back through the door. I hear their footsteps thundering down the stairs and out of the lamplight. Ismay drifts towards the window, listening for the frantic voice until it becomes too distant to make out. That is a big upper torso. Please, please! Her gaze lingers on the horizon as if she can see across the distance to where her body lies. Did Gigi do Cucumber Quest? Basically, this is done by Gigi DG. She was one of the, actually, maybe she did Cucumber Quest. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Certainly the use of color feels the same. I'm so envious of the colors in this. I wish I could color that degree. It's like such lovely lighting. Old Persona and Metal Gear comics? Oh, those I don't know. Like, I know Cucumber Quest. But yeah, in case you missed my little intro at the beginning, this novel is done by Gigi DG, who apparently has done Cucumber Quest, and is also a concept artist on Deltarune. And Toby's done some music for this, because they're working together. Yeah, the colors are just beautiful. It strikes me then how ghostly she seems, truly a fading spark of life. Whatever I managed at the altar was enough to tether her to this world. To me, but her silence now tells me that she and I have arrived at the same conclusion. She has died. Already her soul slips away. That portal to the sovereignty. Fuck. If they destroy the temple. Fuck. I'm really dead. I'm really going to die here. Let's not panic yet. She seizes me then, and her hands digging into my shoulders with such force, as if to shatter them. Pain tears through me as my back hits the wall. No, no! I am not going to die here, not after all this. Not when I'm so close! Searing, relentless agony unlike anything I've felt. I can focus on nothing but holding myself together. Scary Ghost, Ismay, stop! You're going to go back to that temple. You're going to say that prayer. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you have to die for it. All right, but please, enough! She is scary. The mirthful sound of ascending footsteps frees me at last. Alma. Okay, back to bed with you. Not if they're gone. I can give you a piece of my mind. With a shooing motion, she ushers me to lie down, then sighs, sitting softly at the foot of the bed. Look, listen to me. You can't help everyone. Certainly should not have helped that woman, because now things are worse for you. I know how badly you want to, but sooner or later, you're gonna end up with more than a bloody arm. And then who'll be here when Leo wakes up? Uh-oh. Is that his daughter, niece, or friend, that the child? You've been at this for months since that miracle flowers of yours were around. You have found it by now. That's what he wanted the miracle flower for. Oh, shoot. I get that you're spinning your wheels here because you need someone to help, even if it can't be her. But this isn't good for you. I think it's time for you to help yourself. Move on. Better yet, go home. And maybe it won't take a miracle, you know? Maybe it'll just happen one day. Oh no. Is what happened. She wanted to wait for him or something. He used the flower to, like, make time flow, like, quickly for her so she didn't have to wait. And now she's, like, falling asleep or something, and he's, like, looking for a way to wake her back up. Which is why he's putting himself into this situation. In fact, I heard about Patience Hoof. Oh, Mom, please. Sorry. Look, I've said my piece. You get some rest. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see how we do stuff with Yzma, because right now she hasn't really been set up. She's been set up as kind of a bad person. And I'm sure she's got, whatever her reasons are. Although right now they just seem totally selfish. She's like, I wanted the soul sovereignty for myself. And yeah, she's kind of pushing her on Loic for it. With that, she goes, shutting the door behind her. Yzma hasn't taken her eyes off me once, but I lack the words to say to her. Instead, I turn towards the little bedside table where my notebook lies undisturbed. I pick it up and hold it for a moment. I still remember the look on my daughter's face when she realized that the meager enchantment I'd woven could not end her trip on the second day. It was his daughter. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What it could do was project the image of home to her, and her to me, while she remained very much where she was. Needless to say, she was less than happy with the results. You told me this would take me home. I told you it would let you visit. Bringing you here from there to here would be big magic and too dangerous for you, so don't try to improvise. Then you do it. Come on, is it really so bad over there? Yes! She stomped forward, forgetting the limitations of the spell, and seemed to stumble over something I couldn't see, probably a piece of furniture on her side. Ow! Careful, honey. See, there's so much stupid stuff here. Of course, it's all gold and sparkly and ugh. Oh, you know her tastes. I had to wear the worst outfit yesterday and smile and talk to all these strangers for hours. Smiling at strangers? Well, that's just inhumane. Did you get a fancy dinner out of it, at least? I wish I didn't. They were fish eggs. What? That does it, Leah. I'm getting you out of there. Dad. No. Don't try to talk me down now. I'm already on the line with... Yes, hello, authorities. They're serving my daughter caviar. There it was, the grin that pretended to be sick of my antics. I loved that look. But as her gaze drifted past me, it began to fade. Indistinct as it was, she could see the couch where she would usually collapse after school, home at last. The spot where she'd be laughing at me now if she were truly here. She grew still. I hate it here. Oh, honey. The moment I set aside my work, she ran toward me and collided with thin air. Oh, the wall. The spell is stupid. Hey. We laughed as I made my way to her. Oh no. Oh no. I can do this, at least. I miss you. I miss you more. But hang in there a while, Leah. You'll be home before you know it, I promise. What happened with her? My skin prickles painfully under Yzma's glare, reminding me of where I am, but my eyes remain fixed on the notebook. I could return home. The sage alone wouldn't do it, but joined with one or two others, I could be back to the shallow comfort of the mosaic in an instant, too far from that doomed temple to do anything about it. I know, a spell that allows long-distance hugs. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wouldn't we all like that? Oh. Even if Yzma followed, death would claim her before long. I tucked the notebook away into my pocket. Let's go, Yzma. There's another route we can take. This is going to be a whole series of him, like, here's your opportunity to, like, break away from Yzma and do what's best for you instead of her. And he's going to keep missing these opportunities. Oh, no. Oh, no. No good deed goes unpunished. Beneath the lamplight sleeps a secret, an old auction hall where Mosean collectors once bid on relics from outside, free from official regulation. What eventually brought to an end to these auctions was not the attention of the authorities, but the dwindling value of old world treasures in the eyes of the rich. Looking back, perhaps that was the earliest death rattle of the spirit of discovery. When things are no longer relevant to that. Oh, hello, is this a snowmobile? Our best chance of making it in time. And there's the key, dangling carelessly from the ignition. What reason would she have to hide it? Does it still have gas? When was the last time this thing worked? If it's after a biblical flood. I don't like doing this, but I suspect I don't have a choice. Good to see you're catching on. You know, all this time, I thought you were a dead wife guy. Turns out it was a sick kid. Though I guess it could still be both. Thine horse-drawn snowmobile. Wouldn't that just be a sled? I'm pretty sure horse-drawn snowmobile is just a sled. Like, or a sleigh. Leia, huh? That's a cute name. I'm gonna needle you about it. Thank you. What? Bad mood? At least you're alive. Maybe you should listen to your innkeeper friend and count your blessings. Alma means well. She has children of her own, you know. A grandson, last I heard. Any of them yours? I stare, but I admit there's a part of me that appreciates the attempt at levity. I don't know how much of a joke that was. Ooh. When I last came to Tarn, I was still a student. Alma was running the lamplight even then, at the end of its heyday. Even then, she was just as much of a grouch, and just as caring beneath it all. The town was completely different, though. Warm, full of excitement, full of people. Now it's dying. Anyone can see that. Alma's kids moved back to the mosaic as soon as they were old enough. But she's still there, clinging to the warmth of those old days, I think. She's always treated me like family. She'd never let me say it, but I could work at that lamplight for the rest of my life and never repay the debt I owe. And bless her, but she is a bit of a hypocrite. At the end of the day, she has her own stubbornness, just as I have mine. And what the hell does any of that have to do with me? Thanks, Yzma. Nothing, but thank you for listening. I needed to clear my head. We're almost there. No wolves this time. Almost. A pillar of light, absent on our first voyage out, pierces the distant sky above the mountain. Little wonder that the shield came running if this is what they saw. As the hollow temple rises into view, so does the great shadow hovering beside it. A shield airship, Commander Langlius' very own. Oh, they got airships now. Technology's all over the place. I pull over at the broken bridge, helpless to stop what comes next. Oh, we just blew it up! We just blew it up! Holy cow! That was fast. I didn't realize we could blow up a temple that fast. We just erased it. Of course it was impossible for us to outpace him. Still, I hoped, naively, that the commander might have shown restraint, if not respect for the history of the place. Amid the smoking rubble, I find no trace of that peculiar light. It's not over yet. There may yet still be a way. Yzma? A little spooky. She says nothing, as though the very will to speak has left her. Yzma, let's not give up here. Can she even hear me? Perhaps the far-off hope of returning to the Sovereignty's Hall was the only thing sustaining her. Perhaps the call of rest has swayed her weary soul. Either way, her time is drawing to an end. I take the notebook from my pocket. Countless hours spent lingering over one particular flower have formed a slight gap in the pages. These days, I can find it without looking. Oh no, do you have a resurrection flower? Loic, don't do it! Don't do it, let her go! This was a part of me that thought like Alma, that you just wake up by some twist of fate, even without a miracle cure. That was why I took this along, so that I could be with you as soon as you opened your eyes, cry with you no matter how far from home I was. But that won't just happen, will it? So, let matter yield to memory. Let the sovereignty's guardian hear my voice, and its hall meet me where I stand. Let distance be no obstacle, if only for a moment, and please, let it be enough. I silence my desperate heart and focus. By even one visit to the sovereignty's realm, memory tethers it to me. It's a faint connection, a spider's thread catching sunlight, but just enough to follow. It leads far above the mountain, higher and higher until stars fill my vision. Amid these, a single speck of familiar light. With a gentle pull on the thread, I beckon it nearer. Matter yields, shifting to allow the entry of a distant place. His flower magic's super strong. Smooth, glossy stone nestles into the snow-drenched earth. Light without dawn showers the trees. Howling winds grow mild, tamed by an unseen presence. I ready myself to face the guardian spirit as I remember it, ablaze in anger, its feathers stained with blood. Instead, as its figure begins to rise before me, all is still. There it is again. Cool design. Oh, it's got Yzma's corpse. Yzma's corpse lies not at the floor, as I expect, but cradled in the arms of the voice itself. The creature hangs its head placidly, as if lost in thought. Upon noticing my half-there presence, its mouth opens in surprise. You have returned by Fayum's gift. Voice of the sovereignty, I come as Yzma's witness. Give me the words and I will pray. Ah, look at the colors, they're so gorgeous. Why? Her time has nearly expired. You may yet retreat from this place and be free. But I won't. Please, give me the words. I think we need to listen to the voice here. She has deceived you, injured you. She has brought nothing but misfortune upon you. Understand that in doing this, you surrender to her, and will until the end of this world. I wonder how much you know about me, or about the circumstances that led me here. Perhaps more than I do. Even so, let me explain myself. Yeah, these are not wise choices, Loic. Don't do it. About a year ago, my daughter fell ill. Her affliction has no cure. I left home in search of a miracle which I have yet to find. Her smile is all I have, and now I must reckon with the possibility of never seeing it again. I don't know what to do with myself. I've tried to be a helping hand in Tarn, but Alma's right. It's a bandage over my grief. I think this is no different. Even if my daughter can't be saved, even if the glimmer of hope I've been chasing is a fantasy, right now, I beg you, let me at least have the comfort of saving someone. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Even her. Whoever Yzma was before we crossed paths, I have no idea, but nothing she did to me, however wrong, was deserving of death. And what a horrible way to die. The sovereignty is the power to remake your world. Consider the world she will make. Can it be so much worse than this one? I mean, it could. It could. An uneasy silence stretches on. Man's will is divine. Man's judgment is divine. Witness, speak the words. Restless soul, by sovereignty marked, to you I offer willing hands to toil, a willing heart to bear your name, a willing voice to praise, willing eyes to witness the end. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Oh my goodness. He's carrying this guilt of, I can't help the one person I want to help somebody, and that's going to be his undoing. No. What have we done here? To avert the death of the world, the builder raised a great tower, a new home for all humanity. But the true death of the world had not yet been born. She had not yet reared up over the mountains, crowned in the glory of dawn. Wow, a clown hat there. Her gaze had not yet pierced the hearts of the shield and sown fear in their depths. God is an evil clown. Orange. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What a design. Oh, that's fascinating. Evil clown indeed. Oh, did Toby do this song? Cool song. Creepy ass design. Very cool. Oh. Don't look so shocked. Didn't you come all this way to smoke me out? Also, I just realized she's huge. There's the airship. Holy crap. Ugh. This is the shield. Dispel this construct at once and... Ha ha ha. I know exactly who you are, Theodore. But I guess you're still confused about what I am. Oh yeah, a little Final Fantasy VI going on there. Little, Kefka. Evil, almost naked clown. I am a god, marked by the sovereignty. I am light and hunger. I will devour this world. You shouldn't have done that, Loic. You really shouldn't have. Radiance. But there might be a place for you in mine. We both know how good you are at licking boots, Commander. Feel like giving these a taste? Open fire! Hear me! Fire now! I don't think it's gonna work, dude. At Langla's command, a burst of cannon fire rings out. But the assault falls like snow, soft, then still, emptied of purpose, at the unseen touch of the divine. A gentle lift of her head sends the onslaught soaring back. I knew that wouldn't work. Loic, you should... God, help me. What have I unleashed? Loic, we told you! We told you! We told you! I warned you, dog! Oh, well, that's... you know, if... that's how it be. He seems shocked. I'm not sure what he expected. Congrats, Loic, you just killed several people. Like, I'm just trying to help people, but didn't work out very well. Heavy damage, sir. Your orders. Fall back. I'm not dying for this. She is God, bruh. She not hear me. Fall back. I can't, sir. The controls won't respond. Oh, creepy. Oh, now it's Isma, the Divine. Delicious. How delicious this is. The mosaic's finest, scrambling like roaches. Langley is trying to look unbothered, barking at whoever's closest as if they can help him escape. Like, I'm gonna play with your little spaceship. But this is my domain, a promise of the sovereignty to come. A single thought is all it takes to hold him in the palm of my hand. Not even enough firepower to destroy your shitty little ship, Theodore. What did you think he was going to do to me? He says nothing, but I hear the stream of curses sloshing around in his skull. Oh, that's a great line. Oh, that's a great line. Maybe death is what you deserve. But I want you to tell your bosses what's coming. I want them to hear it straight from your lips. Now, go. The ship shudders and obeys, trailing off into the builder's waiting hands. God fight! God fight! Exalted, a voice calls from above. North Star. Return in glory to my hall. And I can see it, just beyond the parted clouds, the place where the sovereignty dwells. So that's where it was. As I am now, the heavens are well within my reach. Loic. I sense his blood run cold. My faithful minion, we've received an invitation. Shall we go? After a moment, he cloaks his fear in a smile. As you wish. Oh no, evil Princess Bride! No! Don't do it. As you wish! Is this all the first chapter still? When I first set foot in this place, it was enormous, bright, overwhelming. Now, the voice of the sovereignty itself seems so small, like a caged bird. Kind of worth it. Yeah. Seekers of the sovereignty, exalted and witness, be praised. You have overcome the first trial. This is the first one. Uh-oh. The first? Yeah, that was my thought. What do you mean the first one? This world cries out for a worthy sovereign. You have not yet realized the fullness of your vision, nor manifested it by your works. This taste of godhood is momentary. Until you overcome the remaining trials, you must continue to walk the earth as a human. Oh, she doesn't get to be a god anymore. What? Worry not. You shall draw power from the faith of those who pledge devotion to you. Have you guys heard about the Traveler? You should really worship the Traveler. He's really nice. He's the coolest god. This witness, too, is your strength. So long as he lives, you remain immortal. Alright, so basically Loet cannot die, because otherwise she will. Now, a second trial awaits in the remains of Erikest. Go and triumph, Exalted. Wait, no! Now you don't get to be a god anymore. Well, that's a conundrum. I always figured that if I ever tried to go to heaven, I'd get thrown out. In a way, this is poetic, which doesn't make me feel any better. My borrowed godhood unravels around me, leaving me completely bare. I don't even have the will for magic, let alone the strength. But you're alive again, that's something. I can only close my eyes and sink, small, pathetic, and exhausted enough to die a second time. Ugh. Oh, nice little landscape here. I stick the entire shield on herself when she's not a god. Uh-oh. I wake in a patch of grass. No snow in sight. This must be it, right? The afterlife? Coming off that magic high is a bitch. True. But no, when I look down, I find that strange scar branching out across my chest, still glowing. My bare chest. I guess it makes sense that my glamour fell off when I died. A cream-colored coat lies draped over the rest of me. This is when I'd usually get myself in order. A new costume, a painted face. Thinking about spending any effort on magic right now makes me want to go back to sleep. Who cares? Good morning. Oh. He sits with his back to me while I slip my arms through the sleeves of his coat. I can't make myself a new one. I've never had the knack for artisanry that you seem to. But keep it as long as you like. I'm in no position to ask anything of you now. Where are we? Who knows? If I had to guess, I'd say the sovereignty flung us a bit further south of home than Tarn, which was considerate, since we're most likely being expected there. He pats the ground. Why don't you come and sit down, Yzma? We've had a long night. Why? Why? If you're asking why I revived you, I had a little conversation with the voice about that. I'm relieved you missed it, honestly. I doubt you'd have liked to sit through all that sentimental nonsense. Give me the short version. I wasn't prepared to watch someone die. I saved you because I wanted you to live, to have a chance to seize your dreams, however selfish. That's all. But if I can disappoint you a bit further, I don't believe that everything you told me on the way to the temple was a lie. About the person you wanted to save for the sovereignty, I mean, even if it was yourself. Yeah, I like the aesthetic they have going on. Art Deco, yeah, that's I could see that. I love how rough it is. Then you're an idiot. That's something I can live with. I've already told you what I want. If you didn't believe me, that's on you. And from now until the day I remake this world, you serve me. Don't expect any pity just because you tricked yourself into it. But if you make yourself useful, I don't see the harm in keeping an eye out for your sick kid flower along the way. Very kind. How shall I make myself useful, then? Don't ask me that yet. I just want to sit here for a while. And that's what we'll do. In the beginning, you looked to the horizon and foresaw the death of the world. To preserve life, you raised this great tower, this new home for all of humanity, our mosaic. He's taken to the slave life well. He kind of has. A little bit too easily. From the farthest reaches, you gathered every soul together into your embrace. But now, this is from the start of the thing. Now, your children are lost. They have forgotten your grace and your love. They have forgotten themselves. Seduced by the outer voice, they wander in darkness, blind to your perfect vision. They wanted to get outside and see things. I ask now that you let them see. Let them behold you in your glory as I have. Return to us and set your world right, please. O architect of our refuge, Lord of unity, merciful builder. Is this Ismay or is there somebody else? I don't think that's Ismay. Oh, okay, we've reached the end. Oh, I'm going to save my progress, though. Bloop. Goodness gracious, that was long. Okay. Might be the previous sovereign. Oh, it might be. Okay. I guess. Therefore, power is my... Yeah. Well, I also kind of want to do the, let's see. History, load. And we can keep going a little longer. Okay, return. Oh, let me get the mouse out of the way. Do you remember? The vents were open that day, letting the wind pass through. Real wind, not the stuff they normally churned out to keep people from going crazy. This was the wind that lived and breathed, that I could swear blew my hair into my face on purpose. The sound of it took me to places I could never imagine seeing with my own eyes. I didn't totally understand why, but I kept coming back to the roof on ventilation days. But that particular day, a teacher saw me. I learned we weren't actually supposed to be going up on the roof. Too dangerous. The sniper from Disco Elysium might get you. I got detention, which I didn't take too well. I was a good student. I could handle teasing, rumors, even being alone, as long as I didn't disappoint anyone. That was different. 30 minutes in a room I had never seen the inside of before. I put on my bravest face and opened the door. It was meant to be a quiet place to reflect. Prayer was encouraged, never required. But how could I do anything else? Interesting. Also, you can absolutely see like Gigi's designs for the Titan from Deltarune in there, just like the wings around the head. The second I entered the room, my eyes were glued to his image, larger than life on the wall. His gaze, too sacred for our sight, piercing the veiled hands and fell squarely on me. He knew how afraid and upset I felt, how harsh I thought my punishment was, and he sympathized with me. But was it so simple? Was going up to the roof the only wrong I'd done? Also about religion in here. I stood before him, dumbfounded and defenseless. The layers of my heart fell away one by one. I could hear a jumble of my own thoughts echoing in my head. What had I been so obsessed with? The wind that lived and breathed. What did that even mean? Places I could never imagine seeing. The outside, the rotting world we'd been saved from? I lived in safety and comfort, in the loving embrace of the Almighty. I daydreamed about going out into the dead wilderness. What was wrong with me? My lip trembled, my fist clenched. Disgust welled up in me, but the thought of crying was worse. If anyone deserved to cry, shouldn't it be the one whose love I'd thrown away? The Catholic guilt is strong with this one. We're reeling in that Catholic guilt. And yet, he smiled at me. Softly, patiently waiting for me to go to him. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. You know what's in my heart. I try my best, but I'm weak and... Tears blurred my vision. I blinked them away, and with clear eyes met a smile that hadn't changed. A little bit creepy. He still waited. A sick feeling spread across my stomach, and I knelt. I'm sorry. I was imagining things. I was letting the voice in, but this isn't what I want. I want to live in your vision. I want to be remade, so please. He continued to wait. What was it? What hadn't I done? My breath grew short and frantic. The world around me started to spin. Finally, the thought struck me to look elsewhere for the source of his disappointment. Oh, it's a painting. Oh, Loic, is this you? This is the Catholic guilt getting to you? Concept of picture obliterates 12-year-old's brain circa 2105. And for the first time, I saw you there. You leaned with your back against the wall, looking at nothing, ignoring him. How can you just stand there? The world spilled out. I barely even heard myself shouting. You just lifted your eyebrows at me. You know you don't have to do all that, right? Alright, this is a girl. What? We're in for 28 more minutes, then we can go. Praying isn't going to pass the time any faster. It had only been 2 minutes? I'm not trying to pass the time. I want to make things right with him. What did you do? That's for him to judge. Wasn't going to judge, just curious. Hey, well, want to know why I'm here? They caught me on the arches again. I mean, they'll throw the book at me for any reason, but that was today's. The arches? Like on the outside, yeah. That's... What? Why? Isn't that dangerous? Have you ever felt the wind out there? It's nothing like inside. Once you really feel it, you'll never get over it. At least I haven't. I can't breathe sometimes when I think about living here forever. That's why as soon as I get the chance, I'm out. Excuse me. I've been talking a whole lot. Ooh, let me get my water. Ooh. I stared in silence. Man, I knew it. You are cool. So sorry? Me? You haven't rolled your eyes. If you think I'm crazy, at least you're being nice. I'm kind of here for the same reason as you. What? Well, for real? The wind is different. It really is. I just like to breathe it in. Sometimes I swear I can even... In the corner of my eye, I saw the builder's smile turn cold. Never mind. What? No, don't look at him. Forget his stupid face. I flinched. He's not... Don't say that. Okay, sorry. You can look at him if you want. Or you can look at me. You walked around the opposite of the image so I'd face away to follow. I was nauseous. My heartbeat pounded in my ears. But I did follow you. And you smiled, big and bright and fearless under the builder's gaze. Cute! I didn't realize it then, but that smile healed me more than his ever had. Lesbianism conquering Catholic guilt! When did I start hating you for it? Doomed Yuri. Oh, we're on chapter 2. Oh my goodness. Something about religion. The beast. This will probably be just a 2-parter because I think we just only have 3 chapters. There are no stories about the builder's rise to power. Back to Yzma the Exalted. His faithful hands will tell you he was always a god, that he created the world and everyone in it. A well-meaning, holy idiot with no clue what mortal life was like. No wonder the mosaic was the best he could do. Yeah, I wasn't sure how long we're going. But yeah, I probably won't be able to finish all the chapters today, but we can probably finish next time. We could potentially stop here. I don't know. We can keep going. Maybe if I looked at it that way, I'd be playing the part of a hero. Too bad I know better. Interesting. So oftentimes you can't tell like who's talking. All right, here's the exalted Yzma again. The sovereignty, the power to reshape the world, to be a giant evil clown god. A legend that eluded even the mosaic's so-called greatest treasure hunter. And it was mine. Everything I could dream of was mine. Until it wasn't. Alright, this is Yzma talking, I think. You have not yet realized the fullness of your vision, nor manifested by your works. All I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman. A giant woman. Giant evil woman. Until you overcome the remaining trials, you must continue to walk the earth as a human. Now, a second trial awaits, and the remains of Ericest. I pronounced it correctly the first time. Ericest, some ruined capital. Loic knew the name. According to him, we'd arrive on foot in 2 days. A little persuasion made it 1 day with no breaks. Did you force him to walk really fast? No, it could be. Because, yeah, the builder seems to be focused on order and safety, whereas Yzma is introducing chaos into the equation. Now, the sun sets beside us on a worn-down mountain path. Below us, a valley of thick fog, like endless nothing. Tired already? Oh, she's still got some clown stuff going on. Not the big old heart cheeks, though. He's been lagging behind enough by now that I have to raise my voice. I catch a flash of exhaustion on his face before he sweeps it under the usual smile. You're running him ragged. Stop that. A bit. Whatever godly stamina the sovereignty has blessed you with seems to have skipped over me. But we're making good time. Perhaps we can spare an hour or so to rest. I asked for a yes or no, not an itinerary. Now keep walking before I make you crawl. As you wish. Loic, no! And then a little bow, and that's it. Dot. You know what? I've decided I am tired of walking. Carry me. This makes him pause, like he's unsure he's heard me right, but we both know that there's no mishearing. Soon enough, he stoops slowly down to offer his back. Oh boy. All right, off we go. You know you're not fooling anybody with the fake cheer, right? He laughs, barely. Sure, why the hell not? You yourself warned me not to expect sympathy, Yzma. If you prefer I beg for it now, you need only say the word. Now, I'd like to say the amount of heavy lifting I did at the shop would surprise you. On a better day, I might manage like this a while longer. Sadly, between the lack of sleep and all of yesterday's excitement, I think we've discovered my physical limit. So, with apologies... Huh? Hey, shit! He fell down. You pushed him too hard. He's apologizing for collapsing out of exhaustion. This guy. Fog everywhere. We're in Silent Hill now. I can barely make out the mosaic shadow in the distance past the slope we tumbled down from. But here's my witness, collapsed a few paces away. He didn't fall that hard, did he? Hey. No, if you die, I die. And I'm not going out like this. Get up. That's an order. I mean, it could be his way of politely screwing with her, just, really, compliance just to needle her. Your concern touches the heart. And you may rest assured your immortality is in no danger. If I can just have a minute to catch my breath. Loic taking this shockingly well. Oh, I like how she has, the boob window so you can see the giant, scar on her chest. Still got some clown makeup. You gotta keep the evil clowns thing going. Fine. Shame on me for expecting my sworn servant to get a little exercise for his god. What happens when I order you to do something you really don't want to do? She's about that clown lifestyle. She is. Such as, I don't know, kill somebody? You'll want a more capable man for the job, I think. But I've already told you I'm not convinced by that kind of talk. Even without hearing the full truth, I believe you're searching for kindness, and you're just as worthy of it as anyone. Please. Haha. Well, however I'm choosing to look at it, the decision's been made. No going back now, even if it might do some things differently, given a second chance. Yeah, you should have done that, I think, a while ago. Loic. But while we're on the subject, there's something I've been meaning to ask since we've entered into this relationship together. Also, I just realized, I'm just not realizing, is Loic trans? Like, was the other girl that we were talking to, the other girl that we were talking to had, like, brown skin and kind of the curly hair, too. But that was another girl. And Loic is, like, presenting as male. Like, is Loic a trans man? I'm assuming that the other girl that we were talking to was, like, again, the brown skin, curly hair, thought maybe that was younger Loic. Is that what happened? That would be interesting, for sure. Shoot. What is your vision for the sovereignty? What kind of world will you create with it? A world for me. What else? Yes, he does have a child. But there are certainly ways like that could happen even if he's trans. And also, like, they have magic. They have, like, technology and magic. It could have happened through flower magic. Who knows? Yes, I imagine any sovereign hopeful would say the same. My question is more, what that looks like exactly. Oh, reclining on a throne, naked servants feeding me little fruits, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's a pretty small vision for godhood. Like, I don't know, that's a... taking flower child very literally. Oh my goodness, true. Like, I don't know, you gotta think bigger than that for godhood. I'm only encouraging you to give it some thought. After all, the voice seemed to think your vision had a ways to go yet. I'd say so. If nothing else, have you considered the lives of ordinary people under your rule? Other than the naked servants, I mean. These people are literally freaks on the opposite end of the spectrum. Freak for freak. True. Very true. You can have a thong if you're feeling modest. A benevolent god indeed. But let's cut the shit. What kind of world are you hoping I'm hoping for? Come again? I can't believe that you saved me because you felt bad or whatever. That's fine. What I don't buy is that a smart guy like you wouldn't be looking for a way to make it worth his while. I mean, yeah, this is not really a ship that I would sail, but I can definitely see how somebody who's like, oh, I'm totally into this kind of, like, messed up codependent, you know, god and slave kind of thing. I'm sure there are people out there who, like, this pushes the exact right buttons for. And I'm sure you could do some really interesting stuff with it. Probably not where I would go with it, but I'm sure there is somebody out there who's like, yes, like, please, shovel this into my mouth. Yeah, like Gigi. Write what you love. That's how it goes. Which, you know what? Like, good for Gigi. Live your dream. Especially with this art. Like, come on. Lord. You say I'm worthy of kindness. Hello, you've walked into Soul of Sovereignty, which is a very interesting visual novel so far. Live your dream. In other words, if you're nice enough to me, you'll be able to call in a favor once I'm in charge. So let's hear it. In fact, I'll take a wild guess. You're Kid, right? Oh, come on. Oh, Loic. Oh. For better or worse, I've signed away my life. Am I wrong to hope it was for the better? So you admit it. You misunderstood. I mean to save my daughter with or without your help. I was already prepared to manage without. But if the sovereignty does fall into your hands, there's one favor I think you'll be inclined to grant me. Oh, now this I've got to hear. Yzma, when I watched you rise from the temple as a god in all your glory, I was truly deeply afraid. But as you issued your challenge to the shield, to the mosaic itself, a part of me rejoiced. That tower is the only home I've ever known. Within its walls lie the dearest treasures of my heart. And yet, well, to make a long explanation short, I have a good feeling that you and I share more common ground than you think, my fellow heretic. I really am wondering if he was the girl in that thing. That. I'm sorry. Do you hear that? What? Now I do. The slow approach of a propeller. Ugh. I don't need the headlights blaring through the mist to confirm my first thought. I know a shield SV when I hear one. The builder is transphobic. You're supposed to be for all peoples. All of humanity, builder. Then again, the Catholic vibe's going on. Yeah, I gotta keep drinking water, talking so much. Help is on the way. Please remain calm. Great. The pilot makes a sloppy landing and rushes out to greet us. They have a helicopter? Oh, wow, look at her. Look at her. Are you two all right? I heard a scream and... They're just like, yeah. Ah! Oh my goodness. You're her. She falls to her knees on the spot. Please have mercy. I'll do anything you want. Oh no, Yzma's enjoying this. She's like, haha, yes. Bow before me, peons. Oh, how cute. And what do you think you can offer a god? Get up. Maybe there's something you can do for my mortal dead weight. Sure enough, the SV's packed with supplies. A blanket, a radiator, first aid stuff. Most importantly for my witness, a few pitiful rations. Thank you, truly. Don't mention it. And you, wait, do gods eat? I've never hosted one before. You don't mind my asking? We've met, haven't we? Very briefly at the lamplight. Yeah. Felicia Ferret, Vel for short. Loic Ard. Pleased to meet you properly, Miss Ferret. Likewise, but really this is our third time crossing paths. You'll have to forgive me. I only know the one other. You wouldn't remember the first time since, well, you were unconscious. Outside the Hollow Temple, I brought you back to Tarn. She's got some shoulders on her. Look at that. Really? Then I've fallen further into your debt. Not at all. I'm just happy to help. She sits there, staring into her lap for a while. Since we run into each other like this, can I ask, what happened at the temple? But I can't imagine you've missed it. A towering deity struck down your superior ship in plain view. Well, yes, but... before that, when the temple lit up, was anyone else there? Maybe a woman about my age with short hair and she would have had a cape tied around her shoulders too? Oh, maybe this wasn't Loic. Alright, maybe he's not trans. The two of you were there, so I figure you might know. Gosh darn. Quick question. Where are we? What? Middle of nowhere, on a path to some ruins no one's cared about in 50 years. Does that about sum it up? More or less. I don't... Great, because I'm having a hard time believing a rookie OS patrol just happened to run into us here. You know the whole shield is looking for me. I liked your little rescue act, but you didn't mistake us for random travelers. You've been following us. So what's the plan? Let's say I know this girl you're asking about. If you're hoping a first aid kit and a cereal bar will get me to tell you anything, you're not gonna cut it as a cop, hon. You're right. That's why I quit. I stole the SV, all my equipment, and just ran. After Langley's destroyed the temple, when he knew that someone could still be inside, Please, I just want an answer. I want to know what happened to my friend. I need to know Nino's still okay. Nino? No, it couldn't. So you really do know her. She's someone who means a lot to me, and it's my fault if there's any chance she's alive, that's all I want to know, please. If she went inside, no, don't tell her a thing. He flashes me a wounded look, then closes his eyes. Okay, orange text is basically a command from her. I'm very sorry, Miss Ferret. Believe me when I say I hope for Nino's safety with all my heart. What? Then that's it? Mr. Ard, with how she talked about you, I thought she said you saved her life. But now you won't help me find her? All it takes is for this false god to say no? Oh, now I'm false. Sooner than you think, I'll be the only god. Mr. Ard here is just ahead of the curve. He's a very loyal follower. Too bad for you. Not a great thing to say. Nope. You... it's not gonna work! Don't do that! She draws her weapon. That's more like it, rookie. Too bad it's still not getting you any answers. You can't kill me. She stares me down for a few seconds, obviously having second thoughts. Then her aim jumps to my side. I realize Loic has raised his palms to offer peace. Stupid! Then what about him? A look on my face spurs her on. You care if he dies, don't you? Miss Farrett, please calm down. I'm not asking for a lot, right? You don't need to do this. It's not like I want to, but you're not giving me a choice. Why won't you just tell me? What else am I supposed to do? Sleep. What? Panicked, she steadies her aim. But she must feel the air softening as he speaks. I can tell even before the dim light pinned at her waist, swaying with his steps. He lays a hand on hers and says again, his voice calm and clear. You've done enough, Fel. Sleep. Looking lost, she breathes half a question before her knees give out. Oh my goodness, flower magic again! At least I assume it's flower magic. See, if I were her, I would have just shot you. If only. What flower was that? Hay feather. But give me a moment, please. He knelt down beside her, rifling through the pages of his notebook. What, you're not done? That was too sudden. She'll suffer if I leave her like this. Likely even more when she wakes. Who cares? I do. Please, just one moment. Now that I look at this girl, she really is struggling, clenching her brow, still breathing a mile a minute. The flower look picks out as another mystery to me, something white. As it comes alive, bathing her in light, he brushes her hair away from her eyes, then lightly cradles her head in his hands. He talks to her in that warm, soft tone. I can't make out the words. Her ragged breath slows, and the creases in her brow start to fade. Finally, something close to a smile shows on her face. All right, there we are. Did you have to do it like that? Like what? Nothing. You're not going to pass out again, are you? You sound like shit. He winces with laughter. Unkind, but true. I can't advise you to depend on me for any more magic until I've properly rested. Lucky us to have stumbled into such a lovely campsite. Wait, here? With the cop? Formally. And fast asleep, as you can see. Until she wakes up. Not for some hours, at least. And I assume you'll be awake to keep an eye on her either way. I wouldn't have gone to all the trouble of tracking him down if I didn't need him. And I'd already be in Arrakis by now if I didn't need him alive. But still, what the hell? Whatever. Thank you, Yzma. Good night. My water. Here, take him. Huh? Fel, the one girl. Okay, yeah, maybe this is not, yeah, I thought this might be, Loic, but this seems like it is another girl. Huh? Yeah, Nino, okay, different. Go on! Thank you? Yeah. So, you don't feel anything, right? Question? No? I think it's a perspective change. No, man, I knew it was a dud, but I had to try it. Huh? No, wait, seriously, huh? You know that research assignment? The one due next month? You're thinking about that already? Yeah, I picked my topic the day we got it, and you're looking at them. You mean the flowers are for your project? Alright, maybe it is. I don't know anymore. Ugh, wait. I think she has a mole on her cheek. I gotta double check next time we see a Loic. Because I'm waffling. I don't know whether this is like young Loic or not, just because, because of the flowers now. Not not just flowers, I'm investigating flower language, one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world. Flower language, like unrequited love and stuff? That's what everybody says. Here, just read the stupid pamphlet they gave me at that place. In pre-Mosaic Palace, flowers with particular meanings conveyed messages of love and longing from sender to recipient. Thinking of you, I pray for your happiness, my heart aches. All could be expressed with the right arrangement of blooms. In Oxon, people would come to ascribe far more varied meanings to their flowers. While some might strike us as bizarre today, do you know that pink hydrangea means underwear? When taken as a whole, Aksendi flower language is beautifully nuanced and endlessly fascinating. And then there's a glossary. Yellow roses for friendship, Polycias for regal beauty. Oh, there's the hydrangea underwear thing. It's so dumb, right? I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm not the one researching this stuff. Well, first of all, Aksen invented flower language, and they weren't just using it to send love letters. What were they using it for? Everything. Marcel Mollin, here we go. Marcel Mollin wrote about it. He said it was the most powerful magic known to man. I'm really wondering if the connection between Nino and Loic now. With the right flowers, sages, they call them sages, could do anything. Healing the sick, taming the seas, moving mountains. That sounds scary. It sounds cool. Anyway, it was a total mystery. The temple expedition couldn't get off the ground for years because nobody knew how it worked. And then Marcel Mollin actually met a real living sage, someone who could unlock the secret of the ruins. And they still didn't find anything. Yeah, but that's just it. That sage disappeared. Mullen's last report said the excavation team came back short one person. What? You mean they, died? That's what I thought, but here, look at this. She handed me a magazine opening to the cover story. A familiar actress smiled at me, arm in arm with her co-star. That's true, Loic did visit the temple with someone else. That's true. Fifi Lacour? Oh, I didn't know she got married. Cute. Wait, the sage is Fifi Lacour? No, read the article. I skimmed through the descriptions of her luxurious ceremony. Excuse me. I gotta have watered up for this stuff. There's so much talking. Famous designers, elite chefs, way more celebrities than I cared about, all piled into that fancy new resort at the top of new construction. Then, weirdly, a whole section about the flowers. When he proposed, he didn't even say a word. I swear this is true. He gave me flowers on my birthday, and I figured it was a sweet thought. But when I looked at them, I just knew. It felt like everything he wanted to say flooded right into me. Down to the letter, I was stunned. He'd planned to give a little speech and then surprise me with the ring. But I was sobbing yes before he got the chance. Fifi's unconventional proposal left such an impression that she insisted on hiring the same florist for the ceremony itself. But when we asked for a name, she played coy, wanting to protect her hidden gem from the spotlight. Oh, okay. You think this is the magic? I know it is. It's not exactly as mind-blowing as you made it sound. I was expecting her to say the flowers exploded. Oh, come on. You gotta admit there's something there. Fine, I guess. Anyway, I've been trying to track down this florist. Too bad Fifi didn't give you anything to go on. Right? And now there's like 1 million more shops jumping on the trend. I've been to 12 already. But I'm not giving up. Not till I see it for myself. Look, people. Look with your own eyes. However tall the mosaic may climb, it remains only a tiny corner of the world as it used to be. Now that world is all around us, still, right now. More than a memory, more than some trove of riches ripe for the plunder, the living, breathing world. But don't just take my word for it. Look. Loic the celebrity. The request seemed easy enough, and despite the look on my daughter's face after the client had left, it wasn't too far out of the ordinary. I had considered a number of approaches. Striped carnations, your feelings overwhelm me. Sunflowers, daffodils, I take joy in my solitude. Okay, yeah, it could be to the audience. Pomegranate. If only I could. The more options I weighed, the less I could deny what I was doing. Flimsy euphemisms, every one. I was skirting around the obvious answer, the most direct expression of the client's feelings. How dare you? I sat alone in the workroom, watched by a crowd of scornful faces. The arrangement itself was trivial. I could have let one of the new hires handle it, had I not feared wasting their effort. But I'd made my bed, nothing else to do but try again. Again, I traced the flower's form in my heart. I reflected on the client's seething words, and the meaning appeared to me. And when I made to lay my hand on it, I brushed a different memory, as one unwittingly touches a live wire. Concentration shattered, I watched another bouquet wither into uselessness. So much interesting backstory going on. Just then, a call from outside swiftly cleared the storm from my mind. Dad! Alright, this is Loic talking. Come in, honey. Is something wrong? There's a weird customer asking too many questions. Ha! Don't say it like that. I mean, she's asking about magic, the serious stuff. In her voice rang a note of conspiratorial excitement she barely attempted to hide. Uh-huh. And is our visitor representing the shield by any chance? I don't think so, but she's really intense. And Sammy is so useless. Be nice to Sammy, please. He's too nervous. Everything he says just makes her more suspicious. I'm sure he's doing his best. Let's give him a break. I took a moment to check the flowers clipped to my apron, all in order, before heading out to the floor. Samson had been with us at least a year by then, my first full-time hire. His open warmth made him an excellent clerk, but really, I could leave just about anything to him but the magic. Lelia, somewhere resistant to changes around the shop, would not fully warm to him for a few more years. She quietly retook her seat, obscured by a vase at the edge of the register counter, from which she could comfortably judge both Sam and this new threat. Confrontation had stalled by the time I entered. Sam stood anxiously at the counter, looking anywhere but at the impatient young visitor. At last, he let me in with great relief. Oh, Mr. Ard, phew! Oh, I think this young lady has some questions for you. So I hear. Thank you, Sam. And I took notice of the visitor, a girl seemingly only a few years older than my daughter. A confident smile spread across her face at my approach. Okay, so it seems like Nino was visiting Loic's shop asking about the magic flowers, because Nino was interested in magic flowers for various reasons. I'm understanding it now. No. It is becoming more clear. Well, good morning. Hey there, you're the boss? I am. Is there something I can help you with? Yeah, matter of fact, I think you might be just the guy I'm looking for. And I hope I don't disappoint you. Please, go on. See, I'm researching the magic of flower language. That's what you do here, right? It certainly is. After all, expressing our hearts to one another is a kind of magic. Yeah, okay, but I'm talking about something way bigger than that. Real magic. I read that in ancient accent, people used flowers to do things we couldn't dream of today. Legendary, world-shaking stuff. Miracles, even. Wow. And to think I've wasted all these years making centerpieces out of them. Come on. I know you know what I'm talking about. Worn down somewhat, I tried a warning. I'm afraid I don't have a clue. What God-fearing Mosean would? What's there to be afraid of? What's he gonna do? Who cares if he doesn't like the old world? It's not like he can stop us from talking about it. A brief silence passed. She was young. And hey, it's too late to play dumb anyway. I already know this isn't a normal flower shop. Is that so? Well, yeah, that big guy over there freaked out as soon as I asked about magic. Sorry, boss. I think the apology clinches it, Sam, but that's alright. I mean, see, I knew it! So, oh man, I have so many questions. Did you work with Marcel Mullen? Ah. To be honest, those days were so long ago that I hardly remember them now. Huh? It was kind of a big deal. You'd be surprised what people forget. Sometimes even what's foremost in our minds, like fresh footprints in the snow. Yeah, I'm wondering how old Loic is, because he has a daughter that's, just a little bit younger than Nino here. Their ages all seem very ambiguous right now. The visitor scoffed. Leo watched me closely. You don't believe me, but haven't you gone somewhere and completely lost track of why? Nope, got a mind like a steel trap. Ha! That's you talking. Me, I'm always forgetting the most important things. Greg here can back me up. I was hoping you would chime in, Sam. I don't know, boss! I don't know, I'm real vulnerable right now. Kindly, the stranger laughed. Leah, too, and a bit more than she'd meant, for she shrank back into hiding when her voice drew a curious glance from the friend she'd yet to meet. Alright, that does it for the comedy segment. Let's move on. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Oh yeah, wait. There was something I wanted to ask about. Flowers, hopefully. I'm not sure I'm qualified to answer much else. Yeah, I guess. Wonderful. True to our name, we at the Messenger favor arrangements with purpose. We prioritize meaning over aesthetics. But of course, we can accommodate any preferences from you or your loved one. Do you happen to have a recipient in mind? Someone to whom you'd like to express a certain thought? Well, there's this one girl who makes me laugh and listens to me talk about anything, even if it weirds her out, and she's really pretty, too. And she's the best friend I've ever had, so she makes me want to do my best, I guess, I should have written a letter, huh? That sucked. Not at all. One moment. I might have sent her away empty-handed on a different day, but I appreciated the diversion, however brief. Sincere affection, a very welcome break from the order I'd left on my table. Apologies for the wait. Here you are. For the one who brings you joy. Whoa, you did that so fast! And it looks so nice, thanks! Wait, how much? On the house. Whoa, really? Thanks so much! And so the stranger left with a dazzling smile, having fully abandoned the matter that brought her to us. You should have charged her for that! My God, the world's youngest accountant. Where did I go wrong? The capitalisms! Whatever. Thus rewarded with the look I adored, I'd have happily forgotten everything else. Yet I couldn't ignore the dark cloud over my assistant. Chin up, Sam. We're all right. Yeah, sorry for the trouble. Don't be. I should have prepared you. And after the article, I'm relieved that it wasn't an inspector. Next time, don't hesitate to call for me. You got it. Briefly passing the shop's side windows, the young visitor exchanged another cheerful wave with me before slipping out of sight. At the time, I expected her interest to fade long before the charm on her memory would, as was often the case with the casually curious. Complacency on my part, I admit. I'd yet to learn that Nino's was no casual curiosity. The power of lesbianism compels her. Hey, time to wake up! Oh, we're out of the flashback. You've slept enough, right? I couldn't honestly say. Has something happened? Yeah, the sun came up, and I'm tired of waiting. Get in. She gives the side of Fell's survey vehicle a loud slap as she heads back around to the pilot's seat. Ah, the god's gonna pilot a helicopter now. Let's wake up and smell the ashes, yeah. I realize I'm not going to talk you out of this. What, stealing a stolen SV? Really? Stranding this woman in the wilderness, I meant. Not my problem. Get in. Having left no room for resistance, I obey. Felicia stirs only barely, still enfolded in a joyful dream. I must take some solace in knowing I've offered her the only kindness I can. Anybody know how to fly a helicopter? Aerial survey vehicles were a more common sight in the old days. Of course, the stated purpose of the outer shield remains unchanged, to protect the mosaic from external threats. Back then, average patrolmen often rescued would-be explorers who wandered too far off the beaten path. As the number of wanderers dwindled, so did the daring rescues. At her age, I doubt Officer Ferret would have seen enough excitement in the field to earn this rickety SV its scars. But at least one mark is hers, a lone photograph taped over one of the flight displays. Izumi coos sarcastically before flicking it out of her way. She takes us into the air with surprising ease, almost nonchalant. Clearly, this is not her first time piloting a shield vehicle. Interesting. Meanwhile, I rescue the photograph. Oh, yeah, oh no, the lesbians, oh no! It really was Nino. What? Oh, right, you knew this kid. Yes, I had the privilege of employing her for a few months. In a word, fearless, her best and worst quality. To be completely honest, but we were all happier for her presence. She wanted more than anything to become an explorer. When the world moved on, her fascination only burned brighter. The first time we met, she tracked me down, looking for answers on the so-called Hollow Temple. Meaning she was after the sovereignty. I would say her ambitions fell short of yours. You two might have one point in common, although her religious upbringing was a bit more ordinary. So, what, ran away from home? Ran into the Sovereignty's Hall and got herself skewered? Oh, Izumi. We know it's on the other side of that gate, and her girlfriend wasn't there to bring her back to life. You do the math. We aren't entirely sure that Felice saw Nino enter the gate at all. Whatever helps you cope. Now, I hope she didn't get stabbed. Seeing no future in which the survey vehicle is reunited with its pilot, I find a place for her photo in the pages of my notebook. It's all I can do. Seat of splendor carved in stone, shaded by bows of gold. So the poet wrote of Arrakest, Axon's ancient capital. Something happened to Felice. Basically, Felice found them in the snow. She abandoned the shield, basically. She had like a stolen helicopter, and she was pointing a gun at Loic because she realized that, okay, if Loic dies, then that's what will actually hurt Izumi. But then Loic put her to sleep with a flower, and we had a bit of a almost the last 5 minutes. No, nothing happened to Felice. They basically left her. They took the helicopter and they left her. So she's alive supposedly, but she's kind of stranded out there alone. And it definitely seems like Felice was, in a relationship with Nino. Yeah, nothing else happened to her. They just kind of abandoned her. I think actually it seems like we're at a stopping point, so I might stop here as soon as we finish this little bit. The early Thaimic priest settled there for its abundant rains, which any good story has its Yuri. True. But it seems like doomed Yuri, no! Which yielded many precious flowers. With the wild sword lily, the great cleaving, they shaped the mountains into their dwelling. Hybridization refined the meaning over time, enabling great feats of architecture, more elaborate sculpture. At its height, Arrakest became a marvel of engineering that inspired awe from across the continent. Now the seat lies barren, its splendor long eroded by the world-ending rain. After some few valuables had been collected by treasure hunters, Arrakest quickly fell back into irrelevance. Izumi looked over the ragged remains, her face hardened into a scowl. Maybe I'll go a little further. I'm trying to find a good stopping point since we're almost approaching the end. Is this it? I wonder what you expected from my description of the place. I wasn't listening to any of that. Of course. This isn't Arrakest proper, at least not as I've seen it. Treasure hunters approached it from the north, nearest home. We've come around the south. Can't imagine why they didn't bother with this side. Marcel Mullen would have liked to. He never found what he believed was Arrakest's greatest secret. Is it the Sovereignty Deluxe, or should I tune out now? Haha, unfortunately. Oh? The ground shudders, then lurches. Uh-oh. From behind comes a scraping sound, a tremendous crash. And just as abruptly, all settles again into stillness. We landed on the bad part. And when we turn to look, the parked SUV is nowhere to be seen, swallowed, I realize, by a massive rift. Uh-oh. Ooh, that's a cool shot. Clearly no active nature. Ooh. Exalted and witness, go forth. Eyes all aglow, Yzma peers over the edge into the depths. There lies Eriketh's legendary subterrane, the holy city beneath a city, prepared for us as if on a platter. Briefly, I consider what he would have given for such a view. How's that for service? Come on. Indeed, our guide has graciously provided a path down the cliffside, scalable with a good deal of care on my part, and very little on Yzma's. She hops down on instinct, apparently having taken to her new invincibility as a fish to water. I can see that for her. At the deepest point, a great effigy carved upon the wall beckons us into a long, dark tunnel. Alright, I'm wondering if I should stop here, because it's about my stopping time. And we can save a little bit. Let's save. I'm going to do this in an empty slot, though. Boop. Right there. Oh, because, yeah, I've been talking for a long time. I'm not sure where else would be a good stopping point. This seems as good a point as anything. Yeah, so far, there's been a little bit here and there, but honestly, like, nothing that's super serious. Yeah. Maybe it'll get worse as we go on. But even the nudity is like, statue nudity, that barely counts. Mostly implied stuff. Yeah, it only real breaks seem to be at the chapters, and these chapters are quite long. More guns in the face than that is more guns in the face than I was expecting. Actually, I believe there's 3 chapters out. So we're in chapter 2, and then there's also chapter 3. So since we got through like chapter 1 and kind of, I'm guessing like maybe half of chapter 2, hopefully we can finish it next time, at least the chapters that are out so far. So I'm sure more chapters will be added in the future. Oh, whew. But this has been very interesting so far. Again, I love the art. Gigi's art is really good. The ideas presented are super interesting. The characters are all super interesting. This is fun. Toby was right to be like, play Soul of Sovereignty. Correct. I'm very interested to see, like, how these ideas develop, where we go from here. And yeah, the art is beautiful. I'm really enjoying Gigi's art. Again, I'm so envious of that lighting, that color. I wish I could light like that. I would need to study so much. It's not my forte. I can churn out a whole ton of drawings, but the color and light in Gigi's work is just gorgeous. Like, I'm jealous. In a good way. In the way of like, okay, it's really like, as an artist, to see another artist like excel in an area that you are not as, strong in, and just like see what people are capable of, when they really push and practice and all that good stuff. Yeah, Gigi's just, again, the lighting, the color, always is incredible on all those. I honestly, like, my only complaint is I wish there was more art. Like, I can imagine you can't do that much because it's all painted practically. That would be a lot to do. We've been talking for like 2.5 hours. Yeah, color is my weakness too. Color is something I struggle with. That's why I do a lot of stuff in black and white. And obviously, like, as a storyboard artist, I can pump out like a lot of drawings real fast and for sequential stuff. But the kind of like focus again on lighting, on use of color and lighting, it's really, really beautiful work. And I really like Gigi's concept art for Deltarune, so that's why I was like, okay, I want to see what they're doing with their own stuff, and it kicks ass. That's just this clear in what we've seen so far. It kicks ass, so I'm excited for more. But yeah, this has been very interesting so far. Very different from the usual stuff we've done. I'm really glad I gave this a shot, even though we'll probably finish it next week, just because there's not that many chapters so far. If it's about the length that we've done so far, then probably we'll finish it next week, if not the next one. But yeah, it'll be fun, and we'll see if it gets a little crazier as we go on. But I mean, it was already pretty crazy. Like, it starts out, okay, this is interesting, and then we'll just pull the gun on him. And it is free of gameplay distractions. It's all linear, visual novel stuff. There's not even there's not even choices. It's just reading through everything. But that's all good. It is a cool, interesting experience. I think this was made with Ren'Py, is it? Which people have used for visual novels and stuff like that, which, interesting. I think it'd be fun to make a visual novel. Ooh. Yeah, and just play around with that. At least that's the kind of, like, thing that would be easier for me to deal with in terms of programming, because I am not a programmer. But yeah, it's fun. Whew, but I think I have to stop for now, because I have been reading for 2.5 hours. Next time I need to bring plenty of water. But I'll try and do better with the voices. I do enjoy reading. This reminds me of, like, reading, I used to read books to my little brother when we were both little. Yes. Someone on my Discord is making a visual novel. Honestly, I was planning on playing it once it was done. It's a Deltarune, but that one is one with choices. It's like a dating sim for Susie. So I was actually thinking, hey, I'll showcase that when it's ready to play. We'll do a little Susie dating sim visual novel. It'll be fun. But I didn't want to rush them on that. We'll wait till it's done, because that is in the process. I'm sure that'll be like a short, fun thing too, but it's looking pretty good so far. So yeah, keep on the lookout for Susie dating sim in the future. But in the meanwhile, I think we can stop here. I will be doing some Eldritch art streaming on Sunday morning, even though we're starting AGDQ next week too. But I did want to do some of that. It'll be not from a comic, just some side stuff to work on, which will be fun. But yeah, and then we'll be doing more of this next Friday, because I don't think there are any speedruns I was desperate to see on Friday. So more of this next week, and we might finish the chapters we have so far. If not, we'll probably do that the third run. Oh, okay, I better get some water and stop talking. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream and, like, checking out this cool game with me, letting me yap so much, yap session. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Please join me on Sunday for art. Thank you all so much for being here. You all guys are the coolest. Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next time. Alrighty, and